Okay, here now we're going to have a look at slope, gradient, steepness of a line, and the letter we usually use is called M, but all these words and the symbol are interchangeable. We can classify the slopes into four types. First of all, we have this one. Now, this is a bit like what I call a love graph. So this young man, he's in love. And the more time he spends with her as X increases, the time, what happens to his love for the girl? Pause and think of an answer now. That's right, as X increases, the Y increases. So the more time he spends with her, the more in love he becomes. What type of relationship is that? We say it is positive, and that this is a positive slope or gradient. And if we're using the M values, it means the M value is bigger than 0. However, the next graph is about his girlfriend. The more time she spends with him, what is happening to the love? Do you know the answer? Stop the video now and make your decision. Then press play and see if you were right. Okay, as we said, the more time she spends with him, what happens to the Y values? Well, unfortunately, the love value, the Y value, decreases. What sort of relationship would we call that? Well, lots of people might say it is a negative relationship. And that's how we describe the slope or the gradient, as negative. Looking at just the M value, we would say that M is less than 0. This one, on this particular graph here, as X is changing, what is happening to the Y number? Pause the video and make an answer now. Did you say that the Y value is constant? It does not change. That is what happens. How would you describe this as a love graph? Who in your life loves you like this, as a constant, regardless of what you are doing over time? Stop the video and have a think. The people that love you constantly, regardless of what you're doing, is obviously your parents. So on this graph, what M value do we give this? Well, which country looks like this? Here's a clue, you're there now. Yes, Holland, it's flat. And we always say there is no slope in Holland. So the M value we give this is 0. Then we have the fourth graph. This is a vertical line. Now, as the Y values are changing, what is happening to the X value? Pause the video and think of an answer now. Yes, X stays constant. Someone one year told me that this was love at first sight as it shoots up into the sky. We have no M value for this situation, so what we say is that M equals undefined, where undefined means there is no number that exists to represent this line. If you have a question and you have a slope that looks like this, you can, in this instance, just write M equals 0. If you have a question like this that is just a vertical line, you can just write M equals undefined. But beware, in the answer books they tend to say no slope, which I think is a poor answer. We need to write undefined, because when people say no slope, most people will think of Holland, but that value is 0. And that is the 4 different types of slope, gradient or steepness. Positive slopes going from bottom left to top right. Negative lines which start top left and go bottom right. Horizontal lines which are 0. And vertical lines which are undefined. Make sure you copy this fully into your notebook. And if you need to watch it again, just rewind.